Aletsch is the biggest glacier in the Alps. It's one of so many in Switzerland that it's worth taking a trip to see them all. The Glacier Trail begins in the famous Swiss ski resort of St. Moritz. This is where the ordinary Glacier Express sets off for Zermatt. Passengers can also relive the glory days of luxury rail travel on the Glacier Pullman Express. Some 50 people are on board for a journey back to the 1930s. The normal Glacier Express takes 8 hours to cover 240 kilometers, but this train is far slower. It will take 2 days to go through 91 tunnels and cross 291 bridges.
The scenery is absolutely lovely, and the train, luxury on the train, and we've met lots of nice people.
My wife and myself don't like going long distances by plane, so this is a good alternative and a very lovely alternative.
The first day takes them from St. Moritz to Andermatt along the Albula Railway. It's one of only 3 railroads to be listed as UNESCO World Heritage Sites. The so-called crocodile locomotive dates back to the 1930s. Christoph Rohner takes a leisurely pace for the curves, the tunnels, and the viaducts.
The older the engine is, the more work there is. I have to monitor everything myself. Listen to noises. Check the temperature. In a modern engine, that's all done by a computer.
The train arrives in the Rhine Valley just in time for lunch. The river is calm here, and the passengers make their way to the restaurant cars. They also date back to the Belle Epoque of train travel. Everything on this journey is an example of Swiss precision and tradition. Rail travel is something the Swiss have mastered.
We're world champions. Not in football, unfortunately, and where we never will be. But we're train travel champions, and we should be proud of this. The Swiss always find it hard to show their pride. But there's no other country where people travel more by rail. We also have the longest train tunnel. So the Swiss should be allowed to be proud from time to time.
The passengers certainly are enjoying themselves. The train continues on its journey through the afternoon. And in the evening, the guests disembark to go to a hotel. The next day, there's plenty of steam and a completely different train. At the Furka Pass, not far from Andermatt, the Glacier Pullman Express has to go through a tunnel. But the passengers have another treat in store. This Furka train is over 100 years old. It climbs up to over 2,000 meters, where there's still snow on the ground, even in the middle of July. Steve Castle works on the railways in England as a stoker on a steam engine.
This is the highlight of this week's holiday for myself and my wife. We go on these railways all over the place, and this is a fantastic advert for Switzerland's railways and for the heritage movement.
Up and down through Switzerland. From the Furka Pass, the train takes a steep downward trip into the valley. It's not far to Zermatt now, so they're almost done. But they still have one more pleasure in store, the Aletsch Glacier. At Fisch, they clamber off the train only to board another type of vehicle, the more modern cable car. The biggest and longest glacier in the Alps is also a UNESCO World Heritage Site. In the valley, the glaciers disappear behind the clouds, while the Glacier Pullman Express continues on towards the Matterhorn. The passengers probably won't see the mountain at its best, but they won't let the cloudy weather get them down. It's very comfortable. We can really get away from our hectic everyday life, enjoy nature.
No stress, very comfortable. We also had good food. I would definitely do it again.
The slow journey quickly comes to an end. The passengers arrive in Zermatt happy and relaxed after a beautiful train ride unlike any other.